Hey everyone, it's Christopher, Mono County Library Director and co-host of the Oxygen Starved podcast. And it's Book Talk Friday, so I've got two great reads you can check out from the library, one old and one new. Let's start with the old. The Golden Compass by Philip Pullman. This came out in 1996 in the States, and it's the first in a trilogy called His Dark Materials. The other two titles are The Subtle Knife and The Amber Spyglass. Now, The Golden Compass is a quest story, with the central character being Lyra Belacqua, a young girl growing up in a steampunky version of Oxford University who saves the life of her visiting uncle and unwittingly gets caught up in his schemes as she embarks on a quest to find her missing friend. Here's how the publisher describes it. A war is brewing in Lyra's world, a battle between those who would keep people in ignorance and those who are willing to fight for true freedom. Lyra is thrust into the middle of the conflict when her uncle Asriel comes to Oxford, fomenting rebellion, and when her best friend, Roger, suddenly disappears. Lyra learns that Roger was kidnapped by a shadowy organization that steals children, and it is rumored experiments on them. To find him, she will travel to the cold, far north, where armored bears and witch clans rule, and where her uncle Asriel is attempting to build a bridge to a parallel world. What Lyra doesn't know and mustn't know is that her actions will have consequences, not just in her world, but in all of the worlds beyond. That's the publisher blurb. Now, this is a young adult book, but the atmosphere and the layers of plot twists pull in any reader, and in fact, Pullman himself didn't write with any age audience in mind. People think the title, Golden Compass, refers to a small device Lyra uses in the story to determine truths from lies called the alethiometer, but in fact, it's a reference to that classic work, Paradise Lost, in which Milton refers to the golden drafting compasses God used to set boundaries for his creation. Another key aspect of this story is that the characters' souls are on the outsides of their bodies, taking the form of small animals or daemons that must always be in close proximity to their human, or they both experience great pain. Now, for me, it's hard to believe it's been 25 years since this book came out. It was quickly overshadowed a bit by the Harry Potter series that started to come out about a year later. But like that series, Pullman's has a dedicated following of its own. It has been adapted multiple times for stage and screen. Pullman followed up this trilogy a few years later with 3 novellas set in the same universe, and then many years later again with a whole new trilogy called The Book of Dust. 2 of those books are published and out now in the States. He clearly can't let go of Lyra and her world any more than we can. Now, The Golden Compass is a book you wish you could go back to and read again for the first time. Now, if you read Golden Compass when you were younger and now you're an adult, you may be interested in my pick for the new title, Pieces by Helen Oyeyemi. This just came out this year. Oyeyemi is a Nigerian-British author who currently lives in Central Europe. She's been up for many awards, and this is her 7th novel. She often takes on fairy tales and twists them a bit, like Snow White and Boy Snow Bird, or Hansel and Gretel in the recent Gingerbread. She's a bit more experimental in style, but she has that same knack of placing you in an other world, one that is just close enough to this one to be understandable, but fantastic enough to keep you entranced. This story happens on a train, a fantastical tea smuggling train on which Ava Kapoor has been living for nearly 5 years. Won't tell you why. Each train car is a magical, unique experience. The berths, the spa, a greenhouse, the mail car. The train is meant to be a magical space, and for inspiration, the author visited several of the fairy tale castles built by Mad King Ludwig in Bavaria in the 1800s. Now, there are only a handful of people on this luxurious train journey, including a couple who are in their late 30s who just got married and are going on their non-honeymoon honeymoon with their pet mongoose, shades of Philip Pullman. There is a mystery to be solved here, but the what of it keeps evolving until ultimately it's the mystery of the couple themselves and what it means to be seen or not be seen. Along the way, Oyeyemi keeps you entranced. She doesn't lose you the way the story would in lesser writers' hands. It's quick, it's atmospheric, and it gets the brain cells turning. And even after finishing it, I immediately wanted to go back and read it again to understand it better and see what I missed, all in a good way. This is Pieces by Helen Oyeyemi. This is The Golden Compass by Philip Pullman. Both are available in Mono County libraries. Both are great books. Come in and find your next read. Remember, you can check out a library book and take it fishing with you or on the trail with you. Just keep it dry and keep it clean and bring it back. In the meantime, stay safe and happy reading.